Grand Rise, Willie Whittle. It shall be dope. This is the pod. Let's get into it. Gil Scott Heron. Revolution will not be televised. Was one of the biggest songs, and not a song, but a poem, stating that as life was moving forward, the revolution is real. The revolution is not something that you can sit on the couch and watch. It's not something that you would just be an observer to. It's something that you would have to get up, get out, and experience, and you would have to make an impact. The statement behind the powerful statement behind the revolution will not be televised is the fact that everybody has this responsibility to go do and go be who they are for their respective space. I feel like in 2024, where we're at now, we are now living um, embodiments of a future dream of what Gil Scott Heron was talking about with not being able to see the televised revolution. We see the impact of how people moving through their own way of life can cause such a rift in the system that would coerce a revolution, that would coerce the revolution to become stronger, to become allies in many different causes, to bring about the thoughts and ideals of people who are tired. I heard a message from Ti the other day, and I was listening to um, something. I can't remember what it was, to be honest. But the quote was, "Don't let a moment stop the movement." And I feel like that was such a powerful statement for me to hear, especially in the time frame that we're in. Um, I'm not a political person. This is not a political podcast, but this is a podcast of as we move towards our path to peace. How does that mission look? What type of warriors do we need to be? I feel that my job just got a lot harder and my life just got a lot more tricky because we're in the revolution and it ain't televised. It ain't. There's no way that they could recess us. There's no way that they could stop the movement. We witnessed a moment in time that's at the moment inevitable. We have to go through it. It is what it is. So what are we gonna do about it? Right? We have to sit here and really make up some game plan for our families and think about all the wheels turning, the mental ideals that's coming about because people are brainstorming what the new future could look like. You know, a funny segue to that was I remember me and Lex watching South Park, and this was when Obama became president, and Randy Marsh was running around, and he was so pro Obama. He was like, "Change," Obama, and he's running around everywhere, and that's all he said the whole show. Obama, change, right? And all of the Republicans who didn't know how to react to the overwhelming impact of how Barack Obama was going to eventually become the first black president of the United States and become president of the United States. They all buried themselves in a cave. They said there will be no tomorrow. It will be like Armageddon or whatever. So as Randy Marsh continues to run through the city and do all of his thing, everything that he wanted to do. I mean, he got drunk, he got into a bar fight, he ended up getting thrown in jail, he lost his job, and all he could say was like, change, like. So the next morning he wakes up and his whole life is different after Obama wins president, and he says, I thought my life was going to change, right? And all the Republicans emerge out of this cave and they say, "Oh, there is a tomorrow." I think there's some real truth to to that. Shout out to what is it, Matt Parker and Trey Stone. Um, there's a lot of truth to that because there is a tomorrow, for sure. The impacts that we make on a daily basis, all the choices that we decide to make, are not based upon who was chosen to run the country. The choices that we make impact our daily lives. We do not have to stand for any tyranny. We have a choice. I understand what laws say, and I still feel like there's a public morality. There's a moral compass that we need to live by all means. And then there's golden rules of do unto others as others would do unto you. So as I sat down with the election results and talked to my kids, once again, I'm not a true political person, but I did tell them this. I said, we do not tolerate disrespect. So please do not bring disrespect to our table. And we will do what we need to do if we feel disrespected. Other than that, everybody be kind and do what you're supposed to do in life. We're not here to sit up here and not try to coexist. But I want to be very clear. We have to push forward with a different mindset. And as I said, and as Gil Scott said, the revolution will not be televised. Right now, we're screen slaves, right? We scroll all day. We watch every bit of streaming that we can get our hands on, binge watch something, and it's relaxing. I get it. I mean, who am I to talk right now? I'm on a computer now because I'm recording, and I do a lot of work, and it is what it is, right? But we don't have to be the people that we are, especially if that person is not making an impact on your life. Don't let a moment stop the movement. Don't let a moment stop the movement. Once again, do not let a moment stop the movement. Be impactful in your space. Be impactful with your family. Be impactful with your friends. Make sure that they understand that they're supported in their views, in their wants, in their needs, in their goal sets, everything. Make sure that your community, your villages is strong. Make sure that they understand something totally different, especially from the way that they feel. Because one thing that is super true is that when people have feelings, they actually tend to learn a lot deeper lessons about themselves and about the place that they occupy. So it doesn't have to be a loss. It's a lesson. Make sure you take the time and learn the lesson. But as we go, the revolution is not televised. It ain't. I agree with that. Gil Scott, he was the man. I agree with that. You know what I mean? It was, some of these things that we go through and on a daily. And I talked to my daughter yesterday who blatantly told me because of the way that she felt, she was like, I want to get out the country. I want to leave the country. And I was like, I don't blame you. Like I was talking about leaving the country, a couple months back. And at first it was just like, yeah, all right, Dad, like we hear you talking. But now it's like, hold on, there's some validity to what you just said. Like leaving the country may be a real thing that we can try to pursue. Like what are we talking about? What could be the plan? It cracks the brain open to understanding different, plateaus of where you could be in life. I know there's a bunch of people who scared. There's a bunch of people who feel what they feel. Um, they're trying to move. They're trying to move in a different direction. People's game plans changed. This is going to be a long 4 years. Um, so here we are. So here we are. And one of the things that we can't do, we can't stop. Like I said, um, this is not a recession of our renaissance. This is not a recessed renaissance. The art forms, the culture, the push that we have within our people, within us, within the people that are embracing their culture, our culture, meshing, making a melting pot of this beautiful uh, mental algorithm of our proprietary space in life as we get to merge with other people and understand who they are. They get to know themselves a little bit more because they get to know somebody else. Um, and that's a beautiful thing. And that's part of the art. Henceforth, why the Renaissance, right? That's part of the art of our culture. It's part of our own Renaissance. We get to create this cultural world that can't be recessed. It cannot, because it's part of the movement. You see what I mean? So as I record today, and I record all the time with the vibe that I'm putting something in somebody's ear that helps them, feel something different or see a different light with the thoughts that they've been sitting and having. Because some people they get caught in a conundrum and they're spinning. They don't know what to do. My hope is that somebody listens to this and any of the It Shall Be Dope podcasts and say, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. Or okay, there are people out there who's hitting the same brick wall as I am. Right? And then there's a tomorrow afterwards. And there is. There's a lot of truth to that. So however we feel today, it's the moment. It's the moment, and every moment we makes up the movement. So don't forget that. Be impactful. Move with purpose. Move with intention. As I say nowadays, I need to move with intention always, because if you're an intentional person, then that way you know that your impact is felt. I want people to know that they cannot recess our renaissance. They cannot. The renaissance cannot be recessed. The revolution is not televised. It's not live streamed. It's not on your news feeds. It's not on your posts. But you see it. And these are the effects of what their revolution looks like. Because they're working in their moments too. So we have to make every moment count. Every single moment count. I want everybody to think about what it means to them to continue to push the bill forward. I want everybody to think about what it means for their families to fight the way that they need to fight, to be able to understand the growth aspect in their plans within their families, within their loved ones, within their friends, within their villages. I want you to make people feel safe. I want you to make people understand that you're there for them. I also want you to be kind to everybody. I also want people to fortify mentally, physically, emotionally. It's going to be a tough time for everybody. We got to be strong. No matter what, this is the path that we have to walk down. And it's always towards our mission to peace, because we are warriors. But remember to walk that path with love. And as long as we do, it shall be dope. Thank you.